There is a place where the lost embers go as their light begins to fade. Ember ran because standing still made them feel helpless. The wall glistened. The painting showed embers on a sacred journey. The painting showed embers on a sacred journey. The painting showed embers on a sacred journey. Ember felt so afraid and alone that it was a relief to find someone to talk to. Ember froze when I noticed a small satchel. The satchel felt heavy. Ember looked inside. The statue shone brightly in the light. There was a symbol on the floor. There was a symbol on the floor. Ember noticed something wrong. There was a round space where something used to fit. To Ember's delight, the golden statue slid perfectly into place. Ember left, feeling sorry for the stranger now alone in the dark. The stairway opened into a dark forest. Ember could feel fear taking over. They'd washed up alone, somewhere very unfamiliar. Ember felt like they were being watched. The path was blocked. The foxes howled into the night. The only reply was silence. As Ember approached, the flames seemed to call out. With a feeling like falling, the forest had slipped away. Ember felt lost in darkness and ruin. The caged flame stoked new hope in Ember. Hope was almost within reach. The flame spoke and Ember listened. The flame lingered ahead. Was it trying to escape? Or leading the way? Campfire flickered into life. The ghost spoke. Hope has returned to a foot. I will warm them until they Ember looked to the ghost for answers. This is a place between to travel through as your light, but none have passed on and alone. The Forest King now holds us, and those who linger will turn forlorn. Again that word, forlorn. The forlorn are those who lost. If you find them, send them to me and I will guide them. I am just a guide along the way to fan the so many lost embers have I seen. More than ever thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them. The Forest King watches the doors. The campfire will light the way. Find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire. Step backwards, little ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. Barely visible through the murky water was the shadow of something, and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat. The ember was curious. I'm headed for the crossroads. I've heard there's a nest there, a safe place. The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. It was hard to make sense of this place. The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. It was hard to make sense of this place. trail just kept on closing. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly. The traveler said, "You sailed in here. Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back." The stranger had blazed their own path, created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. Barely visible through the murky water was the shack, and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat. The ghost said, "Speak, and I will listen." Step backwards, little ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. The old gate was locked. The crow held its shining trophy tight. The stranger whispered, "I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice." He was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach. The worm looked helpless, with no way. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp. Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The broken net hung ominously around the skeleton's neck. The stranger shivered in the cold. They'd moved through such dark places. Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by the passing miles. They lay down and closed their eyes. The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep? The traveller spoke. I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle. The stranger had been forgotten. They tried to follow as best they could. But no one heard them when they fell behind. The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." Take the path east of here, gaze into the pond. The frog knows of a lost forlorn. The Ember was curious. "I'm headed for the crook. I've heard there's a nest there, a safe place." The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond, only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. "There's a frog in that pond. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort. Spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me, that frog. Catches them before I can bait them. It makes me feel useless some days." The fisherman sighed. "I've wasted so much time feeling like this." The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. "Well, listen to me here, rambling on and on. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask." The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. "Let me have a look. See what I can do." With a silk thread, the fisherman carefully knotted it together. With each knot he tied, a net began to form. "Here you go. Good as new." "You saw the frog? Did the frog mention?" "You asked the frog." "Actually, no. Please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them. Poor little worms. They didn't ask to be here. But how do you fish without them? One for me, one for the fishes. Slurp 'em down. I chased old Blue Betty round this pond for best days of my life catching that fish. Had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me head ever since. They say catching a fish isn't the point, so I tell myself that. I tell myself that a lot. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The frog stared at Embo, its belly rumbling. He was nestled between them, but it was just out of reach. The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head. Didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand. stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. This was not how Ember had imagined the gurgling of water or a deafening heartbeat. But then the frog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn. The stranger spoke. There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you would. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them. The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Little one, your journey ahead will not be easy. The path to leave this, I will guide others to follow after you clear the way." There are others like me who can help. You will always be welcome here in the forest. Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things listen. Yellow eyes in graying trees. Ember approached the forlorn. It felt, they said, I know what I need to do. I don't want to be helped. Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Do you know where we are? I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh. The two travelers were talking. Yeah, I got so lost. Why go anywhere else? The birds scare me though. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come in. The guard was protecting a path down between the rocks. Nothing down there but sadness and turning for. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. The Forest King showed me the way. You'll see there's no need to keep going. He'll make a bird of you. Go get your feathers. The crossroads gate was locked. The guard joked. Another scrawny Ember, and with a bag looking all nicely in both guards started looking at Ember with a deathly stare. The guard leered. The Forest King would like you, little scruff. Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in that bag. We guard the door to the Forest King. Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The Forest King. Yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to show it. The giant bird spoke softly. Another, do not fear. The bird is a friend. Ember wanted to feel safe. Oh, little Ember, birds will take another under our... Stay safe in the nest, you'll never turn forlorn. Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See, night is gone. The birds will make the world less frightening. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird was disappointed. Stay? Hope is false. Hope hurts little ones in the end. The forest king spoke so gently, perhaps they could rest here, for it was hard to know what else to say. Clever little Ember, you will stay. You will not turn. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather. Feather means Ember is one of us now. Birds keep little ones safe. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seemed pleased. Clever Scruffs, I can hold that back. Leave them alone, they're one of us. Yeah, one of us. And we all share bags and things. The stranger wanted Ember's attention, being careful not to speak to... You should get away from here while you still can. You can't trust the birds. I've heard there's another campfire in the marsh. Well, that's where I'm going if I can find a way down. Back again! He's resting now. It takes a lot, you know, turning night to day. Don't stray too far. The travelers had disappeared. Their campfire remained. The bear tracks lay in the cinders. The stranger leaned in. I know how crazy this, but friend, those birds are really just embers, dressed up. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. Nothing down there. Go see the forest king. He'll set you straight. Got your first feather, I see. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass. Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to keep going. Ember wasn't ready to face the birds again. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There were memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp. This forlorn was not the same as the others. The forlorn whispered softly, I may never be ready. The future is yours, stranger, but mine is mine. Ember left the forlorn with their thoughts. The time wasn't right, perhaps would never be. Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The forest king seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on. The traveller seemed distressed. I'm sure it's fine, but it's been a while since. It's my fault. Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds, a figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? The traveller whispered quietly, no matter where I go, no matter where, always here. It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route. Hidden inside was the wanderer's journal. Another face at last. A catcher of fish resting by a pond. We work together, silk and tar and aching fingers. My boat floats once more, though I almost wish to stay. It was the same place as before, but how? An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound. Gradually more of the map was revealed. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations. It was like the map had been broken on purpose. The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? The stranger spoke. You know, part of... I said some things I shouldn't have, and now I'm lost. But it's too late. The skeleton looked peaceful. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The statue spoke. Just as it once moved, the instrument you now hold. has the power to move another before you to great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow. A lost message was inside. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far enough to tell. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. Something beckons. This place is not home. I trace the map in my head, recite the older myths. I have to move on. There was one last place to reach on the map. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. Ember found a lost message. The smell of hot broth and hearty stew wafts across the swamp. By the cook's pot I meet another. They are on their own path, but we promise to meet again. Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. The way through was ruined. Muffled by the fog, Ember was sure they heard a rumble. Could that have been a tremendous snow? Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. A sleeping pig, trotters in the air. They looked happy. The plant looked like it could take a hand off, and it was in Ember's way. The fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell. The plant looked like, and it was in Ember's way. The plant, and it was in Ember's way. Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy. A hideous odor filled the air. And suddenly, the reason was obvious. Inside was a scrap of journal. In the orchard I meet the stranger from the cook's fire, a stranger no longer. Together we fill their satchel, food and memories for the road ahead. inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, what's that delicious smell? Ember shuffled nervously. Other embers fed me treats, but then stopped. You feed me now. The Wanderer's Diary. An ancient throne sits empty. No one remains to guide or protect, but we do not mind. My companion shelters with me now. We cannot help those left behind. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Fruity, fresh, but tastes a lot like mud. But what I want is something with more crunch. The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more. It was junk. Maybe the pig would eat some junk. And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Surprising, a little sparky, but tingly but what I want is something with more crunch. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful. The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it. This was the last thing Ember could find to offer. Crunchy, embery. Not much meat, but what I want is the pig's stomach made an almighty sound. Ember chuckled with relief at the large creature they had been so afraid of. The pig had vanished, but something moved beneath the surface. In a muddy pond, Ember thought the pig looked a lot less important. The pig shouted joyously, "Join me, morsel!" The pig seemed happy, but Ember wasn't getting to. Why do I consume whatever people put in front of me? I need some true nourishment, but there's none left here. But so much cooler in this muddy pond, I can finally think. Thank you, morsel. Ember came upon another campfire lost in the wilderness. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." It looked long cold, but ready to be lit. This is the hollow marsh. Here hope was consumed. You must not lose hope, or you too will. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. There are others lost alone. Find them and I will guide them. Down steps to your east, travel the path south, watching a pig grow unhappy, a forlorn lost hope. The stranger had come so very far. They felt the air beneath them, the distance ever widening. It was such a long way down. A resolve stirred within the stranger. Just a few more steps. It can't be much further. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. We stop by the warmth of another campfire. The guardian spirit provokes us, asks what we hope to resolve. I do not understand the question. My companion is silent. Ember thought about the pig. Fed to bursting by others but without nourishment. Who had the pig been before? Ember wondered. Cheerily the stranger said, "Don't remind me of one of those golem statues. Stood there, mouth open. I like you." The pot had turned cold. The fire had died. Nothing the cook made felt good enough. Endlessly stirring the same tasteless pot. Couldn't focus, sleepwalking through the days. Aimed inwards was a swirl of thoughts. In the eye of the storm, a fragile flicker. They wanted to serve something perfect. The praise of others was hollow. The cook felt numb and hurt all at once. The cook spoke softly. "Oh, hello, little one. I must have lost myself for a moment. It's supposed to be my new soup, but it's not ready." A wonderful smell wafted to. "You look starving, poor thing. Have a little taste." It was the most beautiful thing, Ember. I know. It got no. Ember wished the cook would believe them. "Oh, I'd forgotten how good it feels, but it's not ready." There's no need to. But the cook stirred their soup, looking at Ember, looking at the pot, stirring. "Soon, maybe." "Oh, I used to love this, but it feels like I'm making. Nothing has flavor. I'm stuck." "If you know what you want, I can try. But I really need some better ingredient. Something from the orchard could have worked, if it was still standing." "Oh," the cook struggled to hold back their emotions. "Pigs have gotten in the orchard. Planted every sapling I did. All my hard work ruined. Take the key and have a look yourself. I can't bear to. See if anything is left. But I promise you, there won't be." The stranger was afraid. They couldn't see what lay ahead. Ember saw their own fear reflected in the stranger. The darkness hungered for them all. Little Ember spoke hesitantly. How do you continue, never knowing if we'll reach the end? Ember uncovered a journal entry. Snaughty piggy, simple piggy, so easily teased with fruit. They are no help until they are fed. A few grow fat, wobbling on their trotters. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. Hands encircled around the evening fire, merry lanthorn tunes, singing out the promises of old. Will home be as we remember? Ember was jealous of the pig, snoring contentedly. Ember watched as the helpful piggy cleared the path. Ember found a scrap of journal. The lanthorn wards off ghosts and fear. It shapes the world as we wish it. I urge my companion to rest, but still they stare into the fire. The stranger couldn't take on more. The time to grow had passed. The stranger stretched their limbs. Perhaps it is not too late after all. Hidden inside was the wanderer's journal. Our feet are weary, the hours long. There will be much to do when we arrive. I tell my companion of those waiting at home. They do not seem to know what to say. ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." East by wooden bridges on a lonely plinth, a forlorn sits in sorrow. Inside was a secret diary entry. The satchel is almost bare, our supplies exhausted. The taste of a good meal is not easily forgotten, but it slipped my mind to thank the cook. The stranger said excitedly, "Magical sound the lanthorn makes. Let me tell you, I plays a good lanthorn." The orchard gate was locked and needed a key. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The cook was right. The pigs had destroyed everything. The pig was stuffed to bursting, having filled up on fruit in the orchard. The pig devoured the fruit with careless abandon. The stranger closed their eyes and let the fog overwhelm them. Soft, gentle fog, it held them like a vice. The mist could not be pushed, would not be fanned away. The stranger spoke. The fog didn't choose me, it just was. I hope it never closes on you, friend. The frog seemed nervous, but also relieved to see Ember. They told Ember that the birds had let all the pigs into the orchard, and that the pigs had eaten all whilst the birds watched and laughed, except one precious thing the frog had managed to keep safe. The frog offered the lotus seeds to Ember. They pleaded for Ember to take the lotus seeds to their old friend, as the frog knew how important good ingredients were in hard times. A lost message was inside. Our music crafts our path, bridging over any we pass. My companion's hand clutches mine. We dart like fireflies through the swamp. The pig had destroyed the orchard, but now looked so innocent. Ember was jealous of the pig, snoring contentedly. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. A memory lapse at the edge of my dreams. A time before the water, someone I wish to stay for. We must hurry home. The stranger couldn't face themselves. They'd never meant any harm. To be outshone. Easier just to turn aside. The stranger searched Ember's face. Is there hope for me, do you think? Will I make it? The stranger said, magical sound. Let me tell you, I plays a good lanthorn. found a lost message. To see hope fade in those you care for, the harder I squeeze, the quicker it slips away. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." East by wooden bridges on a lonely plinth, a forlorn sits in sorrow. Inside was a scrap of journal. Less and less grows here. I dare not go in the caves alone. The spiders whisper. Their cobwebs glitter. I am not sure I am ready. so soon? I can't believe I've never cooked with lotus seeds. Ember felt happy seeing the cook suddenly. What a lovely surprise! Please try some. It's not much, but just help yourself. Be well, little one, and do remember me if you are ever hungry. Back so soon? It takes a long time to grow a tree, but some of the leaves are poisonous, so that's something. Thanks for talking. The pig was joyous. What is this morsel? My insides feel as refreshed as my outside. I did not dream such food. We will plant a garden of treats. We will grow and eat compliments to the chef. Hello there. You ever want to feel good about your cooking? They always ask for more, but then later you see them eating small chews. We call them apples, but I don't think they are apples. They look a bit wrong, but they taste. But if you boil them, then they taste wrong in a different way. Thank you for everything. Take this and be well, little one. The pig was my insides feel. I did not dream we will plant a compliment to the chef. Through the mist, Ember could feel they were being watched. The Wanderer's Diary. Frogs play at the feet of fallen statues. Simple, splashy, happy little hoppers. They seem content in the home they've made. The stranger knew they had to move on. The path behind was forever closed. They knew they had no choice, and yet they hesitated. stranger knew they had to move on. The path behind was forever closed. They tried so hard to see it all. To leave now seemed unbearable. stranger stared past Ember. I'm almost ready. Let me sit a little longer. I will catch up, I promise. The stranger said, magical sound. Let me tell you, I plays a good lanthorn. The frog seemed nervous, but also relieved to see Ember. They told Ember that the pigs had all whilst the birds watched, except one precious thing. The frog offered the lotus seeds to Ember. They pleaded for Ember to take the lotus seed, as the frog knew how important good ingredients were in hard times. Hello there. Thank you for everything. Take this and be well, little one. The pig was my insides. I did not dream we will plant a compliment to the chef. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." The path ahead lies. Know that if you return, you will always be welcome. Warm yourself, little one. Time is to be savored. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." East by wooden bridges, on a lonely plinth, a forlorn sits in sorrow. The stranger puzzled over their journey. The stranger puzzled over their journey. Some steps felt effortless. Twisted by unseen. Gratefully, the stranger said, "Friend, thank you. We all help each other along the path." Gratefully, the stranger said, "Friend, thank you. We all help each other along the path." The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. You have done well to get this far, little one. I will clear the path ahead for you." You have seen another watching. They know the secrets of this place. Seek them out. The painting was the same as Ember had seen. The two embers shone clearly in the daylight now, their journey ahead.